Hi, my name is Carson Shedd and I'm going to be doing my Module 12 speech. But I do want to start by saying that I don't have an audience yet again because my mom is still out of town and none of my friends have enough time right now to join a Zoom call. But thank you for taking the time out of your day. There is a Waverly Financial CFO under investigation for embezzlement. The CFO of Waverly Financial got caught stealing money from the company after working there for 15 years. He got caught during a random financial audit due to no longer being diligent in his management of the books. After a thorough review of the books, it was revealed that John Schmidt, the CFO of Waverly Financial, had been embezzling money for almost 15 years, which is as long as he has been working there. I believe I'm able to speak on this subject because I have done extensive research on this topic and embezzlement. I believe that Waverly Financial should have been keeping books on John Schmidt, and they should not have just one CFO. They should have had more than one person in charge of finances. I understand that the stakeholders are angry because they are invested in Waverly Financial and don't want to see the company they support get bashed on the internet for something that could have been avoided for 15 years. My new policy will include 4 steps: prevention, detection, response, and recovery. The first part of my policy is prevention, and in the prevention step, we will no longer have one person in charge of the finances. We will have 3 people, and all these people will have to go through extensive training to make sure that they are up to being able to maintain the finances. The prevention step will also include the CFOs having to go through multiple levels of authorization to complete a transaction. They will also have regular audits. They will have internal and external audits to review their financial practices and to detect anomalies. They will now also have limited access to sensitive information and finances. And the last part of the prevention step is that they will now be tracked by a monitoring system. The second step in my new policy is detection. During this step, we will install an anomaly detection software to detect unusual activity and unusual transfers of money. We will also install an anonymous tip line where the employees can call and say anything that they have noticed that was unusual. And now, the bank statements will be thoroughly gone through instead of just letting one person look at them. And lastly, in the detection step, we will conduct random reviews of the financial statements and records. The third step in my new policy is response. During this step, we will have a new incident response team that will handle embezzlement incidents, and this team will include legal and finance experts. Also during this step, we will define the disciplinary protocols and outlines in place. And during this step is when we would usually inform the stakeholders of what has happened and inform them of the next steps we plan on taking. The second to last step in the new policy is recovery. In the recovery step, we will install financial recovery measures like file insurance claims with the insurance providers and seek restitution from the perpetrator. We will also review and update company policies and procedures based upon what we learned from the situation and strengthen our controls, update controls, and install safeguard measures and procedures. We will also make sure we remain transparent with workers and stakeholders. The last step in the new policy is ongoing monitoring and improvement. In this step, we will ensure employees go through regular training and awareness programs and make sure that they are informed about new policies and procedures. There will also be regularly scheduled reviews of the policy and its implementation to ensure ongoing relevance and effectiveness. And lastly, we will develop metrics to ensure the effectiveness of the new policy. I believe this new policy will do great things for Waverly because it will not let anyone who has access to the finances get too comfortable, because they will always have to go through multiple levels of authorization and have continuous monitoring and checks into what they do and are doing with the finances. It will also let people who feel that there is something going on voice their opinions anonymously, because a lot of the time people don't want to voice their opinions or thoughts because they are scared of the fallback and what their peers would think of them. These are the reasons and the solutions to the problems that Waverly Financial should have been keeping tabs on, their CFO, and also why they should have had more than one person in charge of their finances. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to hear me out on the new policy that I want to implement.